My name is Carl Nate with the University of Kentucky Office of Public Relations and Marketing. It is a real honor and privilege to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. And we're going to have, you might say, 5 times the good news this afternoon to tell you all about. But to get us started, we have the person who is the Chief Clinical Operations Officer for UK HealthCare. Please welcome Bo Cofield. Bo?
Thank you very much, Carl. I appreciate it, and thank you everybody for being here this afternoon. At UK HealthCare, we strive to be the best of the best, and really believe that that's what we do. And it's not about our wonderful facilities, our wonderful technology. It's about the people that we engage with each and every day. It's those people that help us do things like treat folks who are to deliver quintuplets and take care of those babies once they come. And we're really proud that the Schaftlein UK HealthCare. We hope we served you well, and I'm certain that we did. This is a true demonstration of what it is that we do best, advanced medicine, and a true demonstration of the power of advanced medicine here in Kentucky that we can provide for the citizens of the Commonwealth. Carl?
Thank you, Bo. This was a great team effort, and 2 of the team members helping to lead the way. In just a moment, I want to hear and get their thoughts. Dr. Wendy Hansen. Dr. Hansen is the chair of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. And Dr. Peter Giannone, to my immediate right, he is the chief of the Division of Neonatology. So first, Dr. Hansen.
Thank you. I guess first, congratulations to Katie and Lucas. So we first met Katie at 23 weeks when she entered the hospital, and we were, I think, fortunate that she delivered 6.5 weeks later. To the joy of everyone, she met many people during that 6.5 weeks. And I would like personally to give some special thanks to the people who were on call that Friday night when the babies decided to be born, because on the maternal side, we had a team of about 6 or 8 people. We'll hear about how many were on the pediatric side. But one is Dr. Todd McCowan from anesthesia, and his resident, Amanda Faulkner. And in doing that cesarean, I had a lot of great help. Dr. Johnson and Dr. Doan. And of course, once we executed to say delivery was going to occur, that turned the switch, and there were 5 teams that came to the hospital for those babies, let alone just the maternal team. But anyways, all of this was to help take care of those 5 babies and to get through it safely with Katie.
Thanks. First, I'd like to credit the parents and the whole family for really doing their best to keep the pregnancy as long as it went and let those babies grow and become more mature in the womb, which makes my job much easier as a neonatologist. As far as the neonatology side went, we certainly been planning since Katie's admission at about 23 weeks gestation. And we've been on the ready all the way through to our delivery, where we went from having only 1 neonatologist on every evening to now having 5 neonatologists on call every evening, because we felt that it was important that each baby had their own attending neonatologist, helping them transition to birth. Also, our NICU nursing staff and our RTs in the NICU did an outstanding job of keeping at least 5 beds open at all time and fully equipped, so we'd be ready for no matter how those babies arrived in the NICU. But luckily, they all arrived as healthy as we could hope for 29 weeks babies, and they're all doing very well right now.
Dr. Hansen, if you want to introduce the parents.
Okay. So to my immediate right is Katie Schaftlein, her husband Lucas.
I think really we just want to say a big thanks to Dr. Hansen and all of her team, just because this was a very scary time for us when we went in the hospital. And
Yes, and we also yeah, it's okay. You haven't been through too much, have you? Also, again, with Dr. Hansen, how everything was so well planned and everyone was so calm. Her team, the doctors and all the nurses, and also the NICU neonatal side, how well thought out. And when those babies came out and they showed them to us, they went right in and they had a team of 5 or 6 people right to work on them and got them very stable and up in the incubator. So we really, really appreciate that. We also appreciate all of our nurses over in the mother-baby unit where we've been hanging out for the last 2 months. It's kind of rough on Katie, but they made us feel at home as much as they could. So we really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think we've got 2 nurses who caught the babies here.
Yeah.
So Rachel, she caught our baby boy, and then Anita, she caught our littlest baby.
Yeah.
So
Handed her to me, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I asked Sadie.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we got to know a lot of very awesome people here, and we just appreciate that.
All right, thank you. That's Lucas and Katie Schaftlein. And again, congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next speaker is the Executive Vice President for Health Affairs here at the University of Kentucky and UK HealthCare, Dr. Karp. Dr. Karp.
Thank you. I always feel like a proud papa myself here. We've done a lot of press conferences here demonstrating that we've lived up to the commitment we made 13 years ago that at UK we'd build a facility and an academic medical center to ensure Kentuckians they could be taken care of in Kentucky, almost irregardless of how complex or how difficult their medical problems or how rare. We didn't anticipate quintuplets at that point in time. And this, I've done these press conferences on incredible saves of liver transplant patients, heart transplant patients, all kinds of stuff. But this is a really special ring with the quintuplets and the 5 kids. It took an army to do this. It took an army from OBGYN, it took an army from anesthesia, and it took an army from neonatology. And I told them before this, they need their own army now to take care of 5 kids. And it sounds like getting that army together. So to me, it's absolutely terrific. I'm honored that you chose us to help you, and I'm pleased that you didn't have to leave town to be taken care of. So I do feel like a proud papa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Karp. I see a couple of people here in the front row I got to meet just a few moments ago, and these are the proud grandparents. So if you just want to stand real quick and give the folks your names.
I'm Randy Schaftlein.
And the other grandparents are over here. I'm sorry, I didn't get to meet you before, folks.
Mike.
And then there's 2 aunts back there holding little nuggets.
Sarah and Taylor, yeah.
Show them the onesies, because these are good babies.
There we go. Right. Look
There's
at
a few more.
Picture taking time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll be outgrowing those before you know it.
Hopefully.
Anyway, now for questions from members of the news media. This is your opportunity, either for the doctors, the parents, or anybody of our speakers here.
Has UK had quintuplets before?
Not in the last 12 years. So we have had quads, but we've not had quints. And as a matter of fact, this is the first time I've ever actually done quintuplets.
Could you give us an idea of how common or uncommon quintuplets are?
They are very uncommon. I think there may be somewhere between 40 and 50 quintuplet births a year in the U.S., so they're quite uncommon.
Doctor, what was it like going into that, and you said you never, dealt with that before.
Yeah.
How, just walk us through that process, how nerve-wracking.
Do you mind? All right. So the babies were born by cesarean, and we sort of prepared like we would for any cesarean, except that Katie had asked us, as we were taking each baby out, to try to map that baby to how they had been and how she had bonded to each of those babies. So imagine that. But actually, there are 5 separate sacs, and as we entered the uterus, we just took them as they came. A sac came up, we delivered a baby, we handed it off to the team, to a nurse, who then took them to your team. We went for number 2, 3, 4, and 5. You were there, right? Sitting right next to her the whole time. Todd was at the head and keeping her comfortable, and she could hear what was going on the whole time.
And I was able to see the babies.
And she was able to see each of the babies as they came out.
Now, these are your first children?
That is correct.
First 5.
And, I mean, was this I don't know a better way to put this, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Was this a natural conception, or was there?
Oh, no.
IVF?
We didn't do in vitro, but when we had trouble getting pregnant, we started fertility treatments. So we were one step away from in vitro.
So this was just a fertility drug that caused you to release 5 eggs in
Yes.
one cycle?
Correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you mind if I ask what drug that was?
I don't even remember what drug it was, to be honest.
But
No.
not IVF?
No, it was a step below.
It's like getting through all the quintuplets every day.
Other questions, please?
How big were the babies coming out? What was the weight range?
So the smallest one, she was 1.96 pounds, little Sadie, and the
And she was the last one coming
and she
out.
was the last one, the youngest.
She's probably the feistiest.
Yes, she's a kicker. And then Savannah is the firstborn, and Scarlett was the fourthborn, and she was the largest at 2 pounds 7 ounces.
Yeah, so they all ranged in between there.
Yeah.
1.96 to 2.7.
Yep.
Very good.
Or 2 pounds 7 ounces,
2
not
pounds,
2.7.
7 ounces.
Yeah.
2.4 pounds.
What was your reaction when you first discovered you were going to have 5?
Well, when we went in for the first ultrasound, there were 4 that they had seen, and then we went next week and we found 5. So, I mean, we were excited, but we were praying that the next ultrasound we didn't find 6. So, we were excited for sure.
At what point in your pregnancy were you when you first knew that you had multiples?
Like 4 weeks along.
Yeah, our first
Yeah.
our first appointment. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
got
was 4 or 5 weeks.
got the positive test, and we're excited, and went on down for the ultrasound.
Yep.
So you must have noticed something very early, right after you got the positive pregnancy test.
Well, they did our blood work, and I had really high HCG levels, which typically indicates that there are multiples in that early of a gestation. So,
Other questions?
Talk about the birthday link. It seems like that's pretty special. Just your emotions right now. You have 5 healthy babies and all this attention.
well, I mean, obviously it's special to have them on my birthday, but I think that the most special part was that they were born healthy, and any day that happened would have been really special. So, I mean, next year, my birthday's not going to be important. It's going to be important that it's their birthday and that they're healthy. So,
Yeah, we're really overjoyed how well they're doing and how well Katie's doing. So.
Sorry if I missed this earlier, but how long until you'll be able to take them home? Do you have an idea of that yet?
it's going to be at least 6 weeks.
And we can defer to the expert.
So,
over
I
here.
mean,
How
then-
soon can we get our children?
I don't want to be pinned down to anything.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be individual for each baby. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're going to leave that up to the NICU staff, and they'll use their best judgment, I'm
So
sure.
usually you would tell parents that they would go home around what their due date would be. But usually, oftentimes, they go home a few weeks earlier. So I think that's why we're talking about 6 weeks or so
Yeah.
right now.
It will not be before 6 weeks, though.
A colleague of mine made me promise to ask this, ergo I'm asking. She said, how did you tell them apart? How will you tell them apart? You know, did they get bracelets or, you know, she suggested nail polish. And I said, no, if it were me, I'd just use a Sharpie. But so, I'm kidding. But I mean, you seem to already know them from the time they were, you know.
Oh,
with
yeah.
you.
They have the same personalities that they had in my belly, for sure. So I think that it was helpful that we knew who was who, because Dr. Hansen was able to accomplish that. But they act just like they did in my belly. So
Some are feisty, some are lazy.
Telling them apart.
no, I mean right now they're all in different, you know.
What are they called?
Are they isolates? Is that what they're called? So once all of that comes off, it may be a little bit more difficult to tell them apart. But I mean, for sure, I know the littlest one we'll be able to tell apart forever because she's so feisty. I mean, there's just no better way to put that. So, yeah, all the girls look similar. So we're thinking maybe nail polish would be good on their toes, just in case.
And the boy will be easy.
Yeah, we'll know the boy.
Poor guy.
Obviously, preparing for one child or even twins is a challenge for a lot of people. What does the preparations look like at home right now?
Well, she's a planner and organizer, so when we found out, we were already the plan was done. So we already got our little nursery set up way before she was admitted. So we have our 3 cribs. We think that'll hopefully do for now. Set up, and we have a little nursery. So, and we have a whole lot of support. We're very fortunate. We have family close by, and they're willing and able and overjoyed to help us get through what is sure to be a pretty crazy time.
And as soon as we found out, we started buying used clothing like immediately, and
Yeah.
like used cribs and all that. So we have everything that we need for sure.
Yes, one set is here in Lexington, and my parents just live right outside of Louisville, so phone drive about 1 hour away. Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine when you load these, what kind of car do you have?
That's a good question.
We figured we don't need to decide that right now, but yeah, we have to get a bigger vehicle for sure.
Some kind of van, I'm guessing. School bus.
Yes.
5 car seats, right?
Yeah, we have the car
those.
seats. We've been going to dealers and putting car seats, see what bills in.
Well, I can imagine that would be like a military.
Yes.
Car seats.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Have you received any offers of promotion, like people, I mean, you're going to be spending a lot of money on diapers. Has anyone offered anything like that for you?
Well, I mean, we had a baby shower, so we obviously got lots of diapers there, but we're going to use a local diaper service for cloth diapers. And I wish I knew the name, like Fresh Fannies or something like that. So we're going to use that, and they deliver clean diapers to your door and then pick up the dirty ones. So and they have a multiples discount, so we only have to pay for 3 babies. So we're going to do that, and then
Go from there.
yeah, go from there.
Anyone else? Well, if not, we invite you as members of the news media to,
We have a presentation as well.
oh, we've got a presentation. All right. Well, let's get on to that, Elizabeth.
No, it's not.
All right.
Here you go, guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay, HealthCare.
Thank
We're
you.
all very pleased to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's cute.
One question. You have been in the hospital from 23 weeks till you delivered. And you're still in the hospital, so I assume.
Well, no, I was discharged on Tuesday, and so we were able to go home.
So you're commuting in every,
I mean, I feel like we're still in the hospital, but we're able to go home if we want to.
Yeah, we can go home.
So, yes.
so discharged on Tuesday. Yeah.
Thank you all for coming, and we invite you to visit individually with the doctors, with the parents, grandparents. Again, congratulations, one and all, and we'll be wondering how we can start a scholarship fund for you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.